This program was first broadcast on Canterbury's access media station, Plains FM, and was made with the assistance of New Zealand On Air.
Welcome to your weekly dose of the Accountology Show. I'm your host and chartered accountant, Nicole Haig, with an insatiable curiosity for uncovering accounting ideas to help businesses grow. I have so many nuggets of gold to share. Are you ready to make your good business great? Let's get stuck right in. Hey, it's your host Nicole Haig
and Alex Fulton.
Welcome to another exciting episode of the Accountology Show. Today we have a truly inspiring guest with us, Charlotte Rebbeck. Charlotte is a highly motivated individual with a deep passion for the natural world and strong commitment to environmental sustainability. Oh, I love that. It's going to sound really good later on when we get into the nitty-gritty. Having travelled extensively following her university years, she developed a particular affinity for New Zealand while drawing inspiration from diverse cultures around the globe. With a successful career in sales, Charlotte is proud of the lasting and trustworthy relationships she has cultivated with retailers and business owners since establishing her own baby food and infant formula company in 2004. In 2019, she co-founded Noopii. That's how I pronounce it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Eco Luxe Nappies. And I love the marketing. A venture focused on eco-friendly products, which she successfully exited in 2022. Very much sounding like a serial entrepreneur.
I think that's where we're going.
Charlotte's drive stems from her desire to create a positive impact on both people and the planet, and she's deeply committed to fostering meaningful business relationships and placing customer satisfaction at the forefront of her work. Welcome, Charlotte, to the show.
Thank you for having me. No problem. We loved having you. We actually got the idea to get you on because we had Premila a couple of episodes ago, and her job was a business broker.
Right.
And that made me think, I know someone who does kind of the other side of the coin. So that's something we can talk about, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
Okay, great. So that's Charlotte's outline. Let's get into some nits grits.
Because I'm quite intrigued by this whole, even what you were saying, Alex, last week with regard to Charlotte. And Charlotte, would you consider yourself to be a serial entrepreneur?
I've never thought of it like that. It's just sort of happened organically.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. I certainly didn't start to end up where I am now, but I'm really grateful that I'm here now, if you know what I mean. So,
well, I suppose hindsight, when you've got a few years under your belt and you can look back and go, I've done this, this and this, then you can come out with a word like serial entrepreneur.
Yeah.
But leading up to it, I suppose you didn't go into it thinking this is what I'm going to do.
No, definitely not.
What would you define yourself as at the moment in terms of business?
Well, you don't even have to, really, I suppose, but for our sake,
yes.
maybe.
Yeah, I suppose where I'm at now, I love looking at problems that generally it comes an environmental problem, and I like going, how can I make that better? And I like to look at it from the lens of being a mother, a practical mother, and actually going, no, that's not good enough. And then, peeling back the layers and go, right, how can it be better? If there was no rule book, because I think at the start, from my school days, I was dyslexic. I was always told I couldn't do this, couldn't do that. So I always had to work harder than anyone else. I always got told no. So I sort of think that then gave me the grit to go, well, that's not enough.
Yeah.
But I suppose in my journey of business, I had to be probably want to say I was the yes person. Yes, I'll do that. Yes, I'll do that. But now I'm actually like definitely that's not good enough person. So I go, no, I'm going to keep digging until I get the right answer. So
I love that mantra, not accepting what you've been told just because somebody has told you that it's the way.
Yeah, no, I love that.
Yeah, all too often I think we are told no or told that's not how it's done. Mm-hmm. So knowing you, Shah, and knowing how, the businesses that you've run and sold successfully, there's obviously, you've, like you say, grit. There's something in there that you've gone, well, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do it better, and then I'm going to move on and do something else, and I'm going to do that. Is that kind of
Yeah, I suppose with the first businesses that I did, I got to the point where I'd thrown myself on live grenades multiple times a day. Like, it's put out that fire, put out that grenade. And I know when I got to the end of that journey, I wasn't prepared to throw myself on grenades anymore. So that's when, now looking back, I go, the business had outgrown me, which is an awesome way to get it to.
Was that your first business?
Yep.
Was that GreenMonkey?
That was GreenMonkey. And so, not knowing what I was looking for then, I stayed in that business far too long. So I know when I got to the end with Noopii, that business definitely outgrew me. Like, I was good at doing little bits of everything, but throw me in a boardroom, have me doing reporting and stuff, I get pretty bored pretty quickly. And I'm not driven by money, I'm driven by purpose and passion. And as soon as someone starts taking that purpose and passion away, I lose interest pretty quickly.
Yeah, the joy's gone.
Yeah, because that's my driver. Like, I'm hunger for change and better. But once I've sort of got there, I'm not going to just stay there because I can stay there.
It's really important. Like, we've talked about strengths quite a lot, and using strengths when you're a business person, especially when you're running your own business. So it was obviously quite quickly you realised what was working and what was not working. We're probably skipped ahead a little bit, haven't we?
That's all right.
But it's probably, I think we should get back to all that, but let's just maybe give us a little bit of insight of how you got to starting your own business. Like,
especially GreenMonkey, because I'm really intrigued if you've got a science background or how this all came about.
I love food. And I can eat a lot of food and good food, but I care about the quality of food. So I was overseas with Alex, obviously. We travelled a lot. I was away 10 years, and I actually had a degree in resource management, major in landscape architecture, which I didn't do for a day, but that's beside the point. But while I was travelling, particularly, I do remember the moment I was in Italy and I went to a tomato stand and I was like, I won't say what I said, but it was pretty much, holy, this is amazing. Look at these tomatoes. The taste and the passion that...
It hits different there, isn't it?
Oh, it was unbelievable. And I ate with my eyes, the smell. And these people that grew them were so passionate. I was just like, it was oozing out the tomato. You could see it.
Literally.
And so, literally. And so I went, and my sister had just had children. I hadn't had children. So on the way back from overseas, I went via Sydney and did a couple of years, a year and a bit there. And I used to get told to bring a book to work. What
was your work?
I was working for I was working in a finance team, which I can't count, so I don't know why they had me there. But and then I got pulled into sort of helping. You're a New Zealander,
you're a Kiwi,
exactly.
You can do anything.
Exactly. But then I got pulled more into the sustainable piece, and they kept saying, can you not show everyone up at work? Can you bring a book to work? And you tell that to a dyslexic person, it's sort of like, well, reading books is actually harder than working.
So what they're expecting you to sit in the corner and read a book?
Yeah, because I was working harder than anyone else in the organisation. So at that point I went, right, this working thing doesn't work for me, because I always work too hard. I mean, that's crazy. So I then started looking up business on the internet. I had a computer sitting there, and my sister had babies, and she was like, there's no good food. And I went, that's just mental. What do you mean there's no good food? So I just, from a very
You remembered
practical...
those tomatoes?
I remembered the tomato. That was the inspiration for it, the quality.
It was always in the back of your mind.
Less is more, simple food.
Well, those things when you travel really stick in your mind, like
a Parma ham hanging from the roof. Yeah. I mean, hello.
Well, I'm thinking about the apple tea you have in Turkey, and then you buy a box and you come home and it's never as good.
No,
when you have it at home. But it's not about that. It's about the passion that goes around it.
Yes.
The traditions, families that eat it, the families that grow it. Yeah, so I can understand.
And often the simplest things are the best. Like, my favourite things are like the simple salads or the simple dinners, but with quality of what's in it. And so that was sort of the mindset behind GreenMonkey. And then...
Had you had children yet?
No. Because my eldest is now 17. And I started GreenMonkey over 20 years
Because it's quite often, I
see a lot of parents, new parents.
Yeah, new parents who, they'll have the baby and then they'll go, you need something. You need a baby wrap or baby clothing, you see a lot of people start businesses because they're all of a sudden in it, in parenting or whatever. So that's it seems to me like you are always thinking about the next thing with this underlying message of sustainability. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And yumminess.
And goodness.
Yeah, goodness.
Yeah. And
goodness.
being better, always doing something
running
better.
a business, did you have so you had no experience in running a business at all, so you'd gone in green with the GreenMonkey?
Very blind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have a mentor or someone to help you?
It's always, and I still stand by this, always surround yourself with people you want to be like. So
I agree with that.
I just always surrounded myself with great people through family, friends and whatever. And I think as you get older, you can get your radar on whether they're adding value or actually just trying to shoot you down. But in saying that, most people are amazing. But I was very green. And the other thing I stand by is half the time not knowing is the best thing.
Yeah.
Because
Blind faith.
Yep. If I'd gone and done even doing courses at wherever, I still read that stuff now, because it comes, and I'm going, but it's not commercial. So I'd go, well, why would you spend all that money doing a business plan and all this market research when you can't commercialise it? To me, that's just a
there's
waste
that whole
of money.
paralysis by analysis.
Yeah.
You overanalyzed it and you just wouldn't go ahead, would you?
Yeah.
And I think that's what does make the best businesses is people are going and not afraid. They're actually not actually aware of the risk they're taking.
Yeah. I don't see it as risk.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
Well,
I guess absolutely don't.
If you don't know, you don't know. But then if you're common sense heavy, which I imagine you are, and I think I am in my business, whether it's naivety or not, but it's sort of like if you don't know, then you learn by trial and error, but in your own way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think as women, we've got a superpower, and I always tell women this, that we've got intuition, which is freaking awesome, and we should use it. I think you've got to find a quiet place. Mine is the garden. And then you ask yourself, does this make sense? And
Whatever the problem is.
Whatever the problem is.
Yeah.
You can
You've
fix
got no
it.
distractions.
No.
You're grounded.
Phones off, get out in the garden. Best way to work out whether something's...
I find walking the dogs is the best way to work through problems.
Absolutely.
Like, I don't have my phone.
It's to get away from all the distractions, the bricks and mortar, to get out in nature and just let it sink in. By the end of the walk or the end of the garden, you've generally got the answer.
And they wouldn't teach you that doing a business degree.
No, absolutely not.
That's how I look at it. I look at those sort of things. Yeah, a lot of this comes from trial and error, but a lot of it is common sense.
So for you to know whether you were making a profit or not, would it be more so what's in the bank account? There's enough in the bank account to get me through to do what I need to do or want to do?
Yeah, I suppose I never had money. Like, I was one of those people that, and I think that was one of my best assets, that I didn't have money. So I didn't throw money at marketing. It was actually just hard work.
Yeah.
And I suppose now with the tech available, like Xero and Shopify and everything, I now can learn that stuff, and I go, it's amazing. But before I started business, before we had those things,
right.
and it was, people would go, can you send us a profit and loss? I'm like, but now
it was
it's
packages
amazing.
like MOB that were so complex,
Yeah.
and they were written for accountants,
Scary.
and they were really hard to understand. Now Xero is written for users. It's really intuitive, and you sort of just follow your nose and you can work it out.
So if you did have, a big scary banker going, can I see a profit and loss? What did you do?
One of my first business partners, I got involved in my business, so I filled in the gaps. I got someone who was great at that.
Smart.
Yeah, perfect.
And then I was the person who you could throw me in a room of people and I could convince them to buy whatever I want off me. So that combination balanced it out. But that wasn't my skill set. But can I do it now? I know the right questions to ask, like, either Xero or put in Xero or ask ChatGPT or something. So I can get the answers now, but before I couldn't.
That's a common theme we're having, isn't it, coming through, that everyone is saying once you've got your business up and running, you can start to identify where you're short in particular skills and get someone to fill that gap. To be able to assist.
And I remember when we spoke about my work, like I'm a creative running a business. And I was told at a very early on by my accountant, if you're not prepared to do those, businessy type things, then go and work for someone else. So while it's scary, I think it's really important to sort of know what your strengths are, what you can do, and what you're in the business to do, and then like you say, outsource or learn or use apps or other.
But there are a lot of people out there that can do the accounts, that can do the copyright. There's not many people that have got the grunt and the grit to start something new. The creatives, I think, and particularly now in this new era of business, where we can go online, there's AI, but that hasn't got a personality and it hasn't got the creative.
Well, it's
starting to.
Like you can literally train your AI program now to
be emotive.
Talk like you, to research like you, to do, do training modules. It's quite scary, but I think it's exciting.
I do too, and I think that's being dyslexic.
Yes,
I think
I agree.
that was the bit that overwhelmed me. Now I feel like it's like having my dad behind me going, "It's all right, Charlotte. You've got the answer to this."
Yeah,
it's just amazing.
Do you remember?
It's exponential, isn't it? It's moving so fast.
Yeah. Do you remember Ask Jeeves? It's Ask Jeeves on. Can we say
for the kids' homework?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like that, but times 1,000. So instead of asking, even typing in Google, like I now will ask AI
Same
information. It's pretty amazing and exciting.
Well, I think it's empowering as well, isn't it? Because what it does is it does fill a void in some businesses that for particular areas and makes it instantaneous, and you're not spending hours on sales script or copy or whatever it might be that you need to fill in. It's done in seconds. You just sort of read through it, filter it, make it sound like you if it doesn't already, and then we're good to go.
I even put my emails through it. This is me being completely honest, because my spelling is still terrible. That now I just go, if I put it through, then it's just one thing that I go, I know
somebody's checked it for you.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's outsourcing. It's like knowing that that's not, high on Charlotte's, skill list. So let's do something about it. So you're using technology to help that.
Yeah.
Almost like having a PA.
She's really good.
I'm glad she's a she.
She is a she.
So getting back to the evolution of the businesses, and then you sold out of GreenMonkey, then the Noopii, and then there's been another one recently.
Yes, I've sold that before it's launched, actually. It's launching probably next week.
Was that the intention, or did that just happen?
Now I've worked out that that's my spot where I feel like I fizz. So because I know what I need to do, I can do it really fast, and I think I can do it well. And so, I think that's my gig now.
Yeah,
and then
we've kind of had this is how I sort of learnt about what Char's been doing, is we had a chat about a potential product that I'm developing, and what I really was interested about what Char does and what she, how she can do this with businesses, because it is a big scary world. Like Char, and correct me if I'm completely wrong, but you can do as little or as much as a person needs to get a product or a service to market. Is that right? And so, you could do everything, like you could literally get everything ready, tie it up in a box and hand it to someone for a cost. And there's a ready-made business, or you can kind of work with that person as like a consultant. Is that correct?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah,
but they have
amazing.
to tick. I have to believe in the product, and it has to align with my values.
Yes.
So
that's brilliant.
I'm just not doing stuff.
Yeah, they're non-negotiables.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
So,
that makes sense, because if you look at your CV of businesses, you've always got that underlining environmental sustainability belief, blah blah.
And I think that's getting stronger. I think as the world probably deteriorates, I think that's my job, is to make things better.
Which is great, because it's your niche. It's something you feel passionate about, and you can do, and you can put into businesses. So what's the latest business that you've been doing?
Hook's the latest one about to launch, HOOC. So that's eco fish bait. And I just want to remove plastic from the ocean. So its main claim to fame is being plastic free, and then also using waste stream products that would otherwise end up in landfill.
Right.
And then it just sits in the cup holder on the boat. Again, a woman's perspective, I don't want to be like going through the chili bin with the lunch in it with dirty fish guts and plastic bags in it. So this is...
Or half frozen, kind of
Baked,
gooey.
yeah.
I mean, I don't really know.
This really does sound like Country Calendar.
Yeah.
I love it.
So, and so
The
then...
next Country Calendar episode.
Yeah. So I've actually got the press release here, which I'll give to you if you want to have a look over. But it's a really cool business, and that sort of came together quite quickly. Mainly because I know.
I was going to say, is that because you have done so many businesses before?
I just know, and I suppose coming from baby food and infant formula, that is quite intense to start, the regulations behind it.
Yes.
So going non-baby, because I've got a restraint of trade, thankfully, it was so much less complicated. And I knew I've still got all those relationships. Like I'm not starting from ground zero.
Yes.
So I'm literally working with the same 3PL logistics company, different packaging supplier, but I know what I'm asking for, know how to do all the barcoding, all the IP, all the company.
Many things.
There's so much value in that, isn't there? I mean,
So
think of the years that took you to learn how to do all of that.
Yeah, it wasn't a 6-year learning. It's been 20 years.
Yes.
So,
So I'm just thinking out loud here, but if someone's listening and has a business idea, could they approach you if they think that it's something that you could help them with? And then say if you do meet, do you kind of work out who can do what, or if they want the whole thing done, or? Yeah,
I suppose, it would definitely depend on what the product is. I think that would be, and I'm actually already quite busy. What are
you doing?
Well, just lots of things, and I want to sort of focus half my time in the garden these days, which
Fair enough.
I'm not getting that, but I'm going to.
Oh, I like this for this work-life balance. That's really important.
Well, I've only worked that out now.
Right.
Yeah, I certainly didn't have it before.
Especially for somebody that's a hard worker, that's working all the time, to have that balance, and in the garden.
I still don't have work-life balance. I literally, it's just not how I'm wired. My relaxing is Xing wood or something.
Yeah.
So you're an active relaxer.
Yeah, really annoying to a husband and family and things because I don't sit.
But things get done.
Very efficient.
Yeah.
Busy.
Busy.
So for what your type of business is at the moment, is there any competition? If anyone else comes up with a business concept and they're like, where do I go? I don't even know where to start. And they can go to someone like you.
Look, there are heaps of resources around. There's, you can jump on LinkedIn. I'm always stalking people on LinkedIn who I need something from them. So I generally...
But is there any business that's sort of set up in the same way that you're thinking, in terms of your business?
Well, it's not really a business. It's not really a business. I think it's just sort of evolved to where it is now. And, obviously I'm more than happy to answer questions for people because so many people have helped me on my journey.
You're you're in the business of business.
I'm in the business of business.
You can have that
but
for free.
Mine's very more, it's not big business. It's definitely,
helping
niche, small business who, probably who people want to get out of working for the man and don't want to dive off the massive diving board. They actually just want to slip into the water. And I mean, it's not sort of life and death stuff. It's pretty much, it's playing in a different pond.
I do have to ask about the marketing because it's so good.
Oh.
Is that all you, or do you outsource that?
Yeah, no, well, I get, AI helped me a lot, but I know what I want to say, and now that I've got someone who can fix my spelling mistakes, then, I
can say it well.
Yeah,
but
I can say it much better.
And even graphically...
Yeah, I did all the graphics.
You did all that as well?
Again, AI helped me, but I chose the colours and the, what I wanted.
What about before AI? What did you do before that?
I have used not agents. I don't like using agencies because then they make everything look the same. So I've always found independent people who are...
And do you generally give them, here's a sort of overview, here's a picture sort of what I'm thinking, just make it look better. Yeah,
and this is what I want the consumer, I want them to trust it, I want them to believe in it. Again, everything I do, the values are sort of oozing out of the seams because I think that's so important.
Well, I think, looking at your portfolio of businesses, that is quite evident. You can see that straight away. They're very strong brand values. You've got, the backbone that you've talked about environmental sustainability.
Authenticity.
It comes through in your products.
Yeah, I agree. Very strong. Okay, so that's coming to an end very quickly.
I know. So interesting.
We've got some quick fire questions. So, what's the best piece of advice that you've been given when it comes to business?
Trust your intuition.
I love that one. Yeah, I think that we do underestimate that and can ignore it at times and push it down.
There's so much to be said for gut feeling, I think.
But that comes with time, I think, as well, because I think you've got to trust yourself. To trust it.
I agree. We quite often talk here about sort of apps, and we've talked a lot about AI, but do you have an accounting software package that you use?
I generally go Xero or Shopify. Like, I mean, for this next one, it will start off just simple with Shopify and then apply, Xero.
Yeah.
So
Awesome systems.
easy, yeah.
Amazing.
Very, and they, I love how they all link and talk to each other.
Absolutely.
What about any go-to business apps? Or there may be none. You may not.
Any apps.
Yeah.
I do listen to a lot of podcasts.
Yeah.
And I'm always out in the garden or going for a run or whatever listening to.
So good, isn't it?
Yeah, favourite one still is The Diary of a CEO.
Oh, I
Stephen
love that one
Bartlett.
too.
He's awesome because he's not patronising.
Yeah.
Love him.
Do you know what I thought you were going to say? I don't know why, but yes, that is very good, and that's probably quite businessy, but don't worry.
Astrology?
No.
I listen to them too.
No, my dad wrote a porno.
Oh.
I love that, but anyway, that's not businessy or accounting-y.
What about, I think I know the answer to this. Do you have an annual business budget or personal budget?
I'm going to say no, but I don't waste money, so I just know that I don't overspend.
Yeah, okay.
I literally don't waste a cent. I don't even waste my eggshells. I turn them into fertiliser for the gardens.
Love it.
And banana skins.
You've got to see Shah's farm, I tell you. We need to do an on-site visit.
Farm tour.
So Shari, just quickly, if you were given $10,000 New Zealand, tax-free, what would you spend it on?
Vegetables, plants. No, I wouldn't. Tax-free, $10,000. I would be able to easily set up a business for that. So I'd start a business. Because then don't work for the man, go and work for yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Brilliant answer. Thank you so much, Charlotte, for coming in today. That has been amazing. It's been very inspirational. I love the ethos of the various businesses that you've had, the authenticity that shines through. Have you got any bits?
I just think, just really inspiring and good to know that, if you have got a little morsel of an idea, that there's actually someone that can help you.
I
Just
agree.
call her up.
Yeah. And what about contact details? If anyone wants to get in contact with you,
Probably just through LinkedIn.
Okay.
Is probably
Perfect.
the easiest.
what's your LinkedIn profile?
Oh, good question.
We'll put it in the notes. We'll put it in the notes.
Great.
Oh,
Wonderful.
thanks, Shari.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your
Welcome.
time. It's been amazing.
Anytime. Thank you.
Thanks. Thanks for joining us on the Accountology Show. If you have enjoyed today's show, you're in luck because we'll be back next week. You'll find past episodes at plainsfm.org.nz and subscribe on Apple Podcasts or Spotify to never miss an episode. We would love it if you would leave a 5-star review and tell a friend or business owner who would benefit from hearing our show. We also love hearing from you, so reach out with any comments or a topic you'd like covered, and even suggestions for whom we should get in the studio next for an interview. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn and TikTok. Our handle is NH Plus Associates, that's NHPLUS Associates, or email me, nicole@nh-a.co.nz. But most importantly, thank you for taking the time to listen to the show. Until next time, keep building that business into the empire it absolutely deserves to be.